We are now.
Oh, just as I burp. Great. Hey, everybody.
We could cut the intro in at any time.
Yeah. Or we
We
can
don't-
frame it perfectly.
No edits here. Boys, we're doing it
Whatever.
live.
We're doing it live, boys.
Fucking who cares? We're talking about The Wind Rises. Who the fuck
Got the
cares?
first-
I don't care. This shit was released by Touchstone Pictures,
DC,
which is owned by fucking Disney.
but DC,
Disney released this shit.
It's a Ghibli movie, DC.
No, this fucking Disney
has
was involved in
awards.
this.
It has a
Fucking,
award.
fucking Disney was involved in this, and Disney, it's a fucking joke that you're
It's the
involved in this.
highest-
All right.
Grossing film in Japan in 2013.
Disney did this film wrong.
No, it was a budget of 30 million. It made 136, and I don't know how the fuck it did that. All right, I really don't.
What
We
else
keep
was
on
going
watching all these movies
What
that
else was
are.
going in- what movies were being released that this one did so well? What was this competition?
Fucking nothing.
I'm sorry. This was produced by Studio Ghibli, and just like we have like before we started doing season 3, like season 1 and 2, we were like, man, Ghibli is such a great.
Man, what I would kill for Ghibli, and now you're watching Ghibli films and you're like, fuck Ghibli, and it's like,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Not
We
one,
have-
but 2 Hunter x Hunter movies.
We've come to the point where just like Ghibli, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck were you doing?
Ghibli's overrated.
Just-
Panama Inverted. I mean, Iron Man: The Rise of Technovore, a Berserk movie. And these are just like anime movies. Like there was also Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World and Wolverine. No. You had no excuse
No,
to like this.
but
movie.
why this?
No.
Why this?
This was done by Toho, which Toho does.
That was a good movie.
Toho, you do some good shit. All right, I'll give you that. But this was a joke. Walt Disney
The Tale
Japan.
of Princess
fuck you.
Kaguya.
I want to start this off with, here's the start of my review for The Wind Rises. Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli, Nippon Television Network, Dentsu, Hakuhodo DY Media Partners, Walt Disney Japan, Mitsubishi, Toho, KDDI, and Touchstone Pictures. Fuck all of you.
It has good reviews, DC.
This is a piece of shit that should never have been made. That is about a person who led an interesting fucking life and did some amazing shit in his life, and this is a joke.
Did he?
This-
Did he?
this-
Because there was only one plane, and they had to. Okay, I will get
Okay,
to that.
the actual plane he created, it literally was a game changer for aeronautics.
Yes. How many failures did he have to get there? And I get it.
Well,
But
I mean,
this
yeah,
time,
but
there was a whole plot that like, oh, we have to keep him safe because he's no. What had he done
Yeah.
to up to that point that would made him so important? Jack.
that's
He didn't do anything.
no. It's not that he didn't do anything. It's that the movie didn't fucking care about it. Like, the movie just didn't fucking care
Okay, so
about the shit he
pretty much,
did.
it's a fictionalized biographical film of Jiro Horikoshi, who was a designer of the Mitsubishi A5M fighter aircraft.
And the A6M0, which, again, a fucking game changer in planes.
Fuck yeah, Mitsubishi. I'm sorry, I own a Mitsubishi.
He loved planes when he was a child, and it was during World War II. And so Miyazaki wrote a manga about this. I found out later that Miyazaki's interest in airplanes is actually because his dad was an airplane engineer. Miyazaki's dad.
Yeah.
Which I get it. It was a nod to his father. Okay. And it's a final film that directed by Miyazaki before his retirement in 2013, but then he came back out in 2017 because he was bored.
So, I think this, I have to say this, I think I just figured out exactly why the special police wanted him. This is...
Hold on. We'll get to the plot discussions. We got to get
No,
to the plot.
This
first.
is something I actually want to say that's very interesting, which is about Jiro himself, because
So, obviously we're going to discuss spoilers from the movie if you've not
Yeah.
seen it by now. If you want to watch it, go watch it. If not, buckle in, buttercups.
Yeah, so this takes place between like
Don't watch it.
1918 and 1940
20.
some odd.
45.
Yeah. Yeah,
1945.
so So what Jiro said, this is what he said. It said, despite Mitsubishi's close ties to the Japanese military establishment and his direct participation in the nation's build-up towards the Second World War, Horikoshi was strongly opposed to what he regarded as a futile war. Excerpts from his personal diary during the final year of the war were published in 1956 and made his position clear. When we awoke on the morning of December 8th, 1941, we found ourselves, without any knowledge, to be embroiled in a war. Since then, the majority of us who had truly understood the awesome industrial strength of the United States never really believed that Japan would win this war. We were convinced that surely our government had in mind some diplomatic measures which would bring the conflict to halt before the situation became catastrophic for Japan. But now, bereft of any strong government move to seek a diplomatic way out, we are being driven to doom. Japan is being destroyed. I cannot do anything other than blame the military hierarchy and the blind politicians in power for dragging Japan into this hellish cauldron of defeat.
I like Heldren better, but carry on.
It's no fucking wonder the special police wanted him. That would be considered, like, fucking... If you remember the one movie we watched a little bit ago, the one where the actor girl, it was about the actor girl. Yeah, it's similar to that guy who was like, he spoke out against the war, and so he was wanted by the special police. Jiro was vehemently against the war. He thought it was completely idiotic, and he did not keep his opinions to himself about that.
If you guys will allow me, I'm not even going to read the plot. I will give you guys a plot summary of this movie, if that's fine with you guys. Jiro? Yeah, is that okay?
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm going to chase his silence as consent. only for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So Jiro, okay, he consented, everybody. So Jiro, our main dude, ever since he was a small child, he loved planes. He had a dream about a famous plane designer that spurred him to pursue his dream. So he goes through school, learns about planes, does math, does really good, gets picked up by Mitsubishi, works for them, fails a bunch, designs some designs that like the cable, the thing
let's be honest.
strut.
He doesn't actually fail, because it's never implied that any of his designs are used until like an hour and 30 minutes in.
But he sits there in the movie. The way the movie portrays it is that they test fly and the plane fails.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, oh, you did a good job.
Yeah,
It's okay.
He was.
Like,
they were only having him design like struts. He was just designing the freaking struts.
okay, fair enough.
That's it. They wasted his talent.
So many time jumps in this movie, we don't actually know how much he's actually succeeding in between.
You don't know shit.
So he also has a friend that really isn't important to the plot at all, other than the friend. Hero was the most entertaining one for me in the movie. And then he also has a love interest, which he saved her maid from a plane accident at the great earthquake that happened, and so she fell in love with him.
I guess. We don't know how old she was either, because she was pretty short.
Like 8, I'm guessing, by her height. Like
maybe
15.
maybe 14. He was like 18. She was maybe 14.
So movie goes on, and he has another failure with the first plane he actually tried to design himself from beginning to end. Fails. Goes to a resort for the weekend. Meets a German dude, which I think is one of the reasons, because that German dude was against the war as well.
So far, he only had one design failure, the Mitsubishi 1MF10, which was in 1933. And that was his only design and failure at the time.
The German dude references the movie The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann, which I have no idea what that is, but...
I don't know. Now you're just reading the summary.
Look, I didn't remember what it was called, okay?
Yeah.
Bite me. So, then
he bitches about... He bitches about the war, because they both were against the war, and fucking... The Mr. Hitler's government?
I don't know. So... anyway, the owner of this resort happens to be the father of the girl, and that's her on the cover. She's painting, and then he decides that they love her. They have a whole at least 10 minutes. It probably was not, where they literally
really
play
shitty painting that didn't look like fucking anything. It just looked like colors
on a campus.
It was abstract as fuck, but I mean, what was the point of staring off at the beautiful scenery and just painting some shit?
Can we talk about the 10 minutes of no dialogue whatsoever and just two grown-ass adults playing with a paper airplane?
No, two grown-ass adults constantly nearly killing themselves while playing with a paper airplane. I have never seen two people almost die more than these two did while playing with a fucking paper airplane.
There was no dialogue at all, and I will give the anime this. It was pretty. It was very pretty. Animation was done
pretty,
nicely.
but my god, that dude had no sense of reality.
No, and then he'd constantly just escape into like fantasy when he was doing his designs and stuff like that, and I just whatever. So then he proposes to the girl, our German dude. I'll get back to him. I promise. I
Yeah,
have plenty
just
to say about
fucking.
it.
I'm in love with your daughter. Like, what, the daughter you've met twice and you spent all of 5 minutes with? You didn't fucking, like, I fell in love with her. Oh, was it through your great conversations that you had with each other? No, we played with a paper airplane. It was really fun.
Yeah,
Fucking
but
1930s.
she has tuberculosis, and she doesn't want to marry him until she's all better. Because her mom died of tuberculosis.
She's
So
got
what does he
tuberculosis,
do?
but they still end up kissing. They still
This is it.
kiss. Fucking look, dude, that's a great way to get tuberculosis.
He doesn't, though, because tuberculosis is highly contagious. I actually made sure I looked up tuberculosis so I knew. I mean, I was like, it's contagious,
I know.
isn't it? Yeah, it's highly contagious. Okay.
I was exposed to tuberculosis. I don't have it, but I'm a carrier of it.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
not
it sucks. I can't donate organs.
great. Sucks.
So yeah, no, he lived fucking 79 years.
Fast forward, and he's designing his the really good plane. Mind you, there was also the stint he went to Germany and learned about, like using metal for the planes instead of wood and skin and stuff. And not skin, that's not the word I'm looking for, but like canvas, that is the word I'm looking for. Wooden canvas. And he's designing his plane, and his girly girl is getting really sick. She has a lung hemorrhage. He runs to go see her.
She like, he gets a fucking call. She's got a lung hemorrhage, so he goes to the bus to get on the train. He goes to see her. They spend all of like 5 minutes together, because then he has to go get the last train of the day.
Because his work was more important than his fiance, but he wanted to see her in case she dies or something. I don't freaking know. It was just like, if you're going to go through all that effort to see her for 5 minutes, you might as well call in for a day or two. And yeah, he is being chased by the secret police as well during this. There was never a reason in the movie. No, I think it might. What you said is possible, and also the fact that he had connections with that German dude that clearly was also being chased by the police. But anyway, and so his final prototype is getting in the works. The girl realizes she also spent some time in a sanatorium, because that's where you go to get better.
Yeah, not only that, yeah, they in a sanatorium where in the mountains where they fucking keep their tuberculosis patients outside in the snow.
Yeah, it was snowing and they're all huddled up with blankets on the porch, and I'm like, you couldn't put them inside the building?
No, you fucking sleep in the snow. That is what you do when
it was just like they were waiting to die.
Sick.
Mind you,
I mean, pretty much.
Hero's boss was a real dickwad, but he and his wife took him in. Yeah, the little short dude. The boss's boss was a cool dude, but the short dude was a dick. But he was the one that took him in when he was hiding from the secret police, instead of just being like, hey, yeah, what do you guys want me for? No, let's just hide him. That's great.
This is interesting.
So anyway, she travels to him, and she says, I can't live without you anymore. And then he's like, well, the dude's like, we can't let you have a married couple, an unmarried couple. And they're like, well, you marry us. So they got married.
Which apparently you could just fucking do.
Sure. And so they got married, and they stayed together a couple days with his. And then when the prototype was coming, she told he got up that morning to go see his plane fly. She told the wife that I'm going to go back to the sanatorium, and she leaves to pretty much go die in a cold
fucking die.
flare.
Yeah, I guess just fucking die.
There was also his sister, which played such a stupid.
He had like 5 siblings, and they're fucking pointless.
And none of them mattered. Like, even the sister, there was a doctor that would, look, she's really sick, she's gonna die. Yeah, it's tuberculosis. Before the
sister who's like, the sister who's like, I'm gonna become a doctor. Oh, well, Dad doesn't want me to be a doctor. Dad doesn't want me to be a doctor. And then it's just like next time you see her, congrats on being a doctor. You're just like, what the fuck?
Sure.
There's...
So his plane's flying, and there's a gust of wind that signifies her death, and that's
Yeah.
the fucking.
The wind, fucking nothing mattered because you took a guy who had a very interesting fucking life, a fucking super interesting life, fucking turned the world of aeronautics on its goddamn head, managed to skip he achieved skipping a 20-year fucking gap, and then bypassed what the world was currently capable of fucking doing.
This
And we just
movie-
yada yada that. That fucking doesn't matter.
And 10 minutes of playing with an airplane. Don't do any sort of 1 or 2 minute, montage where it's like, look at all of his successes, look at what he's doing, look at his growth. No, 10 minutes of 2 adults playing with a paper airplane. Can we mention the German, the German, which was a very strange dude that ate a whole ass bush?
He just ate a fucking bush, man. It was watercress. No, it's a fucking bush.
They literally, it even looked like the server was trying to take it away from him, and he was just in that. He was eating that bush like groceries, okay? And then something else that irritated me about that. Okay, Jiro and his future wife, soon to be corpse. I'm sorry, was no sentimental attachment to any of these characters in this movie for me. If it was sad for you, I'm sorry for disregarding your feelings.
I didn't give a fuck about anybody in
But-
this movie.
Jiro and her dad were discussing marriage, and the German's just like, yeah, you should totally do. Well, who the hell are you? Butt out of our business, like, go. And he had to butt in and like help convince the dad. Like, the dad did not need convincing. Jiro was very successful, and I assume rather well off with financial wise, since he could afford this fancy resort. And that's sorry, that probably sounded terrible. The whole movie was just 2 hours and 6 minutes. Like, it would be building up to something that might be an interesting plot point, and then it went, no, let's go over here where it's boring, or let's do a time skip. And it's just like, please? I kept checking.
Yeah,
How
I
long's
know.
left?
It's
How long's
fucking...
I got
kept
40
doing
minutes
that
left.
too.
I got bored. I can get through this. I didn't
Here's-
watch it at times 2 speed. I should have done that.
Yeah, here's what the sad thing is, right? The Mitsubishi A6N Model 0, that is what he made. The United States Navy and Air Force said that its frame was built like a fine watch, and that it was a marvel of simplicity with no superfluidity to distract the pilot. And what most impressed them was the Zero's fuselage and wings were constructed in one piece, unlike the Americans' method of separately and joining together. And the British said, I don't think I have ever flown a fighter that could match the rate of turn of the Zero. The Zero had ruled the roost totally and was the finest fighter in the world until mid-1943. That is the achievement that he was able to do, and the movie fucking focused on it for nothing. Nothing. No
Nope.
time.
They just went, look at the fancy plane he made. That was it.
The greatest achievement in Japan at the time.
Because remember, the whole movie focused on the time gap. I'm glad they also did that in the sub, because I thought maybe this is just a dub thing. They didn't explain it well. Because the whole movie focused on the time gap and how Japan would never catch up with the other countries.
Yeah.
And he not only did he close that gap, he accelerated past it, and they just kind of went.
Yeah.
Did it?
There was
look,
one.
okay.
There was one
They
line
did
about.
not describe how great that plane was. It did not
No.
describe exactly how that plane broke all of the bounds they had before. They didn't.
They just had one moment of the one dude who was like, "We're never gonna catch up." It's like Achilles and the tortoise. You know, they're 20 years ahead, and even if in 5 years we manage to catch up, they'll still be 5 years ahead of us. And it has one throwaway line, one where Toru goes, "What if we or Jiro goes, "What if we become the tortoise?" And it's like, oh yeah, no, that might be an interesting movie. Oh hey, his wife has
And then-
tuberculosis. That might be an interesting movie. Which apparently that's all.
The dude
made
was
up for the
like,
movie, but...
I get it that they wanted to do the drum, but it was done so wrong because even the dude was like, yeah, I love her, but I also love my planes a lot more.
She was pointless. She served no plot purpose.
None. I had no emotional attachment at all.
There was no plot purpose to fucking anything.
And then at the very, very end, we see one last dream of him and the designer dude, and they're talking about the airplanes and the war, and neither of them were behind the war, and he's just like, well,
Yeah.
you still made amazing planes. Yeah, we did. Now let's go have dream wine.
Yeah, no, it was fucking retarded. But apparently the real dude had 5 kids.
Well, that's good.
And none of them went on to become plane engineers. Not a one.
Good, because I could not stand a sequel with his children.
They're still alive. They're still alive.
Neat.
Yeah.
But anyway, how do you feel about this movie? Like,
One, it's not a fucking movie.
you would rather watch Lou Over the Wall again?
Yes, because that I could laugh at. And there was the
actually,
Shark Dad had a hat.
I could watch Lou Over the Wall again. If I was given a choice, look, you have to watch a movie. Do you want to watch Lou Over the Wall or Wind Rises? Give me Lou Over the Wall.
I watched Lou Over the Wall, fucking weird ass dancing and Shark Dad with a hat.
There's music and just, give me Lou Over the Wall again. I'm gonna agree with you. Look,
it's nonsensical and I hate it, but it's better than this.
I'm gonna give it a 2 because it was pretty and the music was decent. That was it. But 2 hours and 6 minutes of pretty and nice music, I could go put on a lo-fi beats with high HD images in the background and have a better time. Fuck
this movie. Just fuck this movie. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Hate it.
Did not
fuck
like.
Japan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you did us bad.
Yeah, I'm here.
Have you seen this movie?
Fuck you, Disney.
I've seen parts of it, yes.
How do you feel from our summary and the parts that you've seen?
I feel shame.
I walked out.
Because it sucked. It's so boring to even be talked about. Just talking about the movie is so fucking boring.
We'd rather watch Lou Over the Wall, man. We have a new low for our movies now, and it's really disappointing. This is a Ghibli movie with rave reviews, but if you Google "The Wind Rises" is boring, you will see there's a lot of people out there that agree.
Look, we're now living in a post The Wind Rises podcast.
Look, we're living in a podcast where we realize that, hey, maybe Ghibli isn't as good as people think it is.
There's a lot of good Ghibli movies. There's a lot of
Ghibli put out so many good movies that nobody even fucking knew about the shit they put out. The good movies outweighed the shit to that degree. And
yeah.
Now that we know about it, it's just like, you know what, Ghibli, I'm fucking disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed the fact that Miyazaki thought this would be the good movie to go out on. Like,
yeah, this is the movie he went out on, and you know what? I'm like a parent that's just like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Well, I mean, that's what Miyazaki did to his actual kids, so I mean... Yeah.
It's fitting.
It's fitting.
Karma, Miyazaki. Fucking karma.
Your film is shit.
Look, if you guys like this movie and we're shitting all over your favorite movie, I'm sorry.
I'm not fucking sorry.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not sorry. If this is your favorite movie, get better taste.
Yeah, like, for real. If this is your favorite movie, no, just stop.
Yeah, no, just no.
If you like this movie, tell us why you liked it. Okay, I know.
You know what the worst part is?
I want to know why you liked it.
Do you want to know what the worst fucking part of this movie is?
What?
The screenplay was by Miyazaki.
Yeah, he wrote the manga as well.
He wrote this shit.
Wow.
He wrote a movie where nothing fucking happens.
Yikes.
Yep.
Nothing.
And it got an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, Golden Globe Award
It's
for Best
literally...
and the Academy Prize for Animation of the Year, and it got more awards. Those were the just most prestigious.
You know, it's only because it had Miyazaki's fucking name on it that they got those awards.
Fucking, let's look at this. Academy Awards, Best Animated Feature, Best Animated Feature, Best Animated Feature, Character Animation and Feature Production, Writing in an Animated Feature Production. Who the fuck gave it a writing award? Who the fuck gave this a writing award? This got a writing award. I'm sorry. It won! It won Best Writing in an Animated Feature Production.
Why? Why? Why?
Also, Alliance of Women Film Journalists gave it a Best Animated Feature award, and it won?
Pardon?
Was it because the chick with a bleeding lung, or because of the doctor sister that didn't matter? Neither of those characters matter.
This movie tied for Best Animated Film with Frozen.
With Frozen?
With fucking Frozen, and you know what?
Oh my God.
Let it go.
I would too, in all honesty. I would rather watch Frozen. Yeah, same.
Because at least it has good songs. You know.
A plot.
Yeah. It won Best Animated Feature. Let's see. Runner-up, Best Animated Feature. What award did it win? Animation of the Year!
No! How?
Controversy about the smoking in the movie, because no one in 1923 Japan gave a shit about smoking.
No.
At least they did that.
Best Animated Film. Best Animated Feature. Best Motion Picture, Animated or Mixed Media.
Yep. So there's that.
This movie.
And it was also selected as the audience favorite animation at the Mill Valley Film Festival.
Fuck this movie. Fuck it. This movie sucked.
Best music score. Yeah. No. Once again, we are on the opposite side of the critics.
Critics are stupid.
I mean, technically, we are critics since we're criticizing.
We're better critics.
You know, we could have just watched Porco Rosso, which is an anime by Ghibli with planes and pilots and.
It would have been better. It had a pig. Funny pig man flying a plane.
I'm down with the furries as opposed to this.
God, this movie was hell.
But you know what? Let us know what you guys thought of it. And hey, if you disagree with us, that's fine. I want to know why. I want you to change my mind and tell me why you thought this was a good movie. Because
you ain't changing my mind.
You're probably not going to change mine either. But
basically, set up a stall with the change my mind thing. That's Angels right now.
Yeah, I need that in my life.
The Wind Rises was a piece of shit. Change my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. So, and this is the end of season 3, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being patrons, because remember, you're canonically attracted, and if you're here,
your family.
So, we got bigger and better and brighter things coming for season 4, and it's gonna be good. So, thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you, and see you next season.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you in a little while.
Bye.